from one Biloxi Square in Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome into another edition of the Grandpa and Pappy Show, Friday edition.
Yep.
As we usher in the weekend with you and get you caught up on a lot of things, have a little fun, and just general tomfoolery. I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
How are you today, Pap?
I'm good. How about your own self?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Got a steroid shot yesterday for all this crud I've been having.
I notice your hair is a little perky looking today.
The-
Little starch in your stride.
I don't know what that shot does to me, but it does something.
No, I feel a lot better today. The voice is a little weak, but man, I feel 100% better than what I did the last 3 or 4 days.
Maybe I need me one of them roid shots too, man.
But anyway, thanks to Dr. Sager for getting me in.
Yeah.
Good report on my health, and everything's good. Can't complain, I guess.
Yeah. Welcome aboard, everybody. Happy Friday.
Yep, we're going to have a little fun today, and we're going to be talking about generation differences, and we wound it up with what are some of your favorite pet peeves?
Oh boy.
And we got some good ones. You guys come through again. You're rocking on us again. I love it. I love it. I love it. But anyway, we hope you've had a great day. Have some great plans for the weekend. Pappy here is going to be taking a little vacation time next week.
Me and the Divine One's going heading west.
Yeah, you're going to be up there in God's country.
Yeah, Estes Park.
Yeah, Colorado.
Have a wedding. Helen's grandson's getting married there in the park.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, good kid.
Yeah.
Both of them are great kids, and that happens to be about within a 30-minute drive of where number 2 son and the daughter-in-law and the grandbaby are staying, because he's up there working, so we'll knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Might even go crazy enough to go to Black Hawk Casino, by God.
Well, there you go.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah, can't wait.
Let's just dive right into our program today. We ask our illustrious viewers out there about what some of your pet peeves are that just drive you nuts.
Okay, before we get started, though, Thomas Gabriel had a live stream. Yeah, he was a very dear friend of the show, a great guy. Had a live stream last night, doing a show in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, I shared this as much as I could. They've got even limitations on what I can share through Facebook Messenger for 9 more days.
Well, you may be getting out of that, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, but what a show that was. What a show you guys did, Thomas, man. And by the way, if you'd like to see that, and this was my whole point of bringing it up, the link is good for 2 more weeks. Just text me, and I'll be happy to share that link with you.
Right.
But it's a great show. The guy is unreal.
Yeah, he is so talented.
Great.
And for those of you who may not know, Thomas is the grandson of the late legendary singer Johnny Cash.
Firstborn grandson.
Yeah. And sounds just like him. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he does.
First time you ever introduced me to him music-wise, man, I closed my eyes. Or actually, you didn't show me who it was. You played it, and I said, dang.
So
I had never
who does
heard
that sound like?
No, you said listen to this, and I said I didn't know Johnny Cash had any new music coming out.
That's right.
That's when you said nope, that ain't Johnny.
That's right. That's when I spun the phone around. But the guy's just an awesome entertainer, and a great guy too.
Yeah, he is. And he's fun to talk to.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we've had him on a couple of times.
Yeah, we sure have.
But he and his sweet fiance Sarah Jo are leaving the 18th for Ireland.
All right.
There
you go.
Taking 20 couples with them.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah.
That ought to be a lot of fun for them.
Yeah.
But the reason I was saying you may be getting out of Facebook and Twitter jail is because the thing with Hunter Biden that they have not anything that was mentioned about the report that came out from the New York Post. They have censored.
Yeah.
And so people in Washington said you can't do that, and summoned them both, Facebook, Twitter CEO, to Washington. Twitter's already stopped it, to where they're censoring, Facebook will be following.
Well, and it's funny you should bring that up because I finally somebody just this morning I saw it about 6:15 a.m. had a little note from the community standards people because I contested 30 days. You know, I mean, hell, I don't mind being in jail for a week. 30 days is kind of ridiculous, but they said it wasn't the fact that I said I would unload my gun on him. It was the fact that I called him a dumbass. He got all butthurt about it and reported me. So,
well, there are a lot of dumbasses out there. I can tell you that.
One born every day.
If I were to ask you, Pappy, what's one of the biggest pet peeves you have? What is it?
Oh, you're waiting on this, aren't you, Kay? Well, you're not involved yet, so
That's a good thing.
You can turn back around.
What just gets under your skin?
There's so many of them.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know,
I know. There's a lot for me, too.
I'm a complicated kind of guy, but something as simple as leaving this much milk and putting it back in the refrigerator, or an empty pitcher, or hygiene.
Yeah, there you go.
Personal hygiene. That's a big one.
That's a big one for me, too.
I mean, if you can't at least use a bar of soap and defunk, at least cover it up with something, some good cologne or something.
Well, you must have been reading some of the opinions that we had. What is yours, Special K? Me?
No.
No, it's Patty.
My biggest pet peeve is chewing gum. I cannot stand chewing
Yeah, she
gum.
goes ballistic.
And my biggest pet peeve is when people sit down at the table and they take it out of their mouth and put it on their plate or on the table. It's disgusting. I don't want to see the crap coming out of your mouth. I'm sorry.
so
I just
should
don't.
they
It's
just swallow it?
disgusting.
I've seen them put it under the table,
And
and
I
then
just-
after they got through eating,
I
reach under there and
I
grab
just
it.
think it's so attractive for a young lady or even a man to sit there and go on, it's like a cow chewing their
Unattractive.
cud. It's like, jeez, shoot, doggone,
Hell, I thought that was sexy when a cow chews that cud.
No, and they think it makes their breath smell better. I hate to break the news. It gets stale after a while. It
It
stinks
does.
bad.
It does. It
Sorry.
does.
That's my pet peeve.
Okay.
Don't put it under
I
my
think
table.
my
back
biggest
there.
pet peeve, and I'm like you, Pappy, I have a lot of them, but the biggest thing that just, irritates me to no end is people not using their turn signals.
Yeah.
And you don't know which way they're going, what they're going to do. You got a car that's in front of you. You're at a stop sign. You don't know if he's going right, left, straight. You're afraid to go out there because I've had them pull right out in front of me. I'm just going, hey.
And regarding turn signals, what really corks my pistol is, like in heavy traffic times, when if somebody needs to get in front of you, turn your damn blinker on. Don't just assume that I'm going to mash my brake, because I have still yet to try out that big bumper on Black Betty. So
The thing's big enough, I'm telling you.
make my day.
You would come out on the losing end if you're in front of Pappy.
Would
I'm
not
telling
be
you.
good for the visiting team.
All right, well, that's my pet peeve, and Pappy's and Special K's. Let's take a look at some of what you guys said.
All right.
Brent Hardy said, it is grammatical errors, to which Matt Bannister said, you must have passed. Crawford Young told Brent, so Grandma wasn't perfect.
We can talk about my grandma like it. Linda Lionheart said for her, it is people who like to talk about you and they don't know the paths that you have gone down. Until you know someone and what they've been through, just keep your damn mouth shut. It's as simple as that.
Well, there you go. That's pretty sensible right there.
Yeah, I like that too.
Joey Thiebaud said it is people who criticize other people for behavior that they themselves are guilty of.
Yeah.
I've seen that every
Yeah.
day just about.
And Casey Palmore said it's someone leaving the cabinet doors and closet doors open.
He must have been hearing me talk about Karen sometime. Andrea Jones said for her, it is someone opening up candy wrappers in a meeting right after they've had a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Paula Morris says it's listening to people talk politics that don't know what the hell they're talking about. That would be me most of the time. I hear so much false information when we go for a drink or to a restaurant to eat. Understandably, the people are going to be talking politics this time of the year, but geez, people, get your facts straight so I can learn something new and enjoy my food. That's well said, Paul.
I like that. That's pretty good.
Makes a lot of sense.
Molly Rayburn said, I just happened to come across your Facebook page, and though I'm not subscribed, I have a doozy pet peeve. It is people who do not take interest in their personal hygiene.
Bingo.
There you go. That's what you were talking about. Yeah. I sat across a woman from a woman the other day at Chili's whose body odor was so bad it was gagging my husband and I. We finally had to ask the server if he could move us to another table. I can't imagine trying to eat my food while gagging from the stench. Come on, people, have a little more pride than that. And that goes back to what you were saying about one of your pet peeves. Yeah,
I'm afraid I just had to get up and leave. 'Cause this funk don't person doesn't screw my meal up. I can't eat on an upset stomach.
Just a funky monkey.
Funky monkey. Mm-hmm. Donna Briggs Moss says it's when people say, "Oh my God." My Bible says we only use his name in praise. That is not praising, and in my opinion, it's the same thing as cursing. Her sister Sherry Briggs Cone said she couldn't agree more, and I can't get my husband to understand this. Nelda Pound Slatter also agreed, and adding using 3 initial abbreviation of it, meaning OMG.
Yes, OMG.
Like the little dingy blind. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. That's why they wear padded shoulders.
Oh
do this
my God. Yeah.
Rolling their eyes.
And that's it. Sean Robert Allgood chimed in to give us his pet peeve. He said it is fake people because all they do is lie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Seen
point.
that before?
Good point, Sean. Jamie Ward said it's people who don't use their blinker when turning in a car.
Jamie, I'm right there with you.
Bingo.
I told you that's what mine was. Karen, I know she gets so upset at me sometimes because, and I just let them have it.
I don't know how many times I've been flipped off because I wouldn't let somebody in that wasn't using their blinker. 9 times out of 10, I will let you in if you're courteous enough about it.
There you
Traffic's backed up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that one other time I always get the old one finger high sign.
You and Jennifer Hoopin Garner Thomas must be talking too. She said it's simple for her. It's people who leave an empty tea pitcher in the fridge. It pisses me off to no end. To which Jerry Winterroad comically told her, "You're welcome."
You're welcome. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Yep.
Oh boy. I used to get fussed at big time by Mom and Dad because Dad was a tea drinker.
Yeah.
It was either that or full pitcher, and it hadn't have any sugar in it. He'd really come unglued. Called it sissy juice. James Gordon Wolf said it's people who claim to be trying to help me in life when in actuality they're merely boosting their egos by perceiving themselves to be smarter than I am. I tell them to read the reviews on my website. The ones that are simply boosting their egos won't read them because they're afraid that these reviews are going to conflict with their chosen impressions of me. The ones who really care will read them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Darla Walker said the biggest pet peeve she has is with liars.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stand a liar.
Yeah.
Cannot stand a liar. Robert Perryman told us his biggest pet peeve solely belongs to politicians.
Yeah, buddy.
My God. I know that most of them are looking you straight in the face and lying like a cheating wife. I know we have to vote, and I already did, but God Almighty, will you people just tell the truth for a change? I'd rather someone say I'm running to get rich than to lie to me.
Wouldn't that be refreshing?
Yeah.
I really appreciate your vote because I'm kind of poor right now, and all the politicians in Washington are getting rich. So
That's right.
I do need to pay for my house and my car and my condo out in Bahamas. And
Just a click from being a trillionaire, so donate today.
and that's just some of the pet peeves that you guys wrote in to
Sure we'll be
tell
getting
us
more for your comments coming up shortly.
about it.
Yep.
And for the lady who just came across our Facebook page, I believe that was Molly Rayburn.
Yeah.
Molly, it's good that you found us.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, and we hope you'll go on to our web page
Push the big red button while you're there.
and subscribe to
Yeah.
our YouTube channel. I will do a little technical update here for you, Miss Special K. I think you got the cord mixed in your chair there, and every time you're moving, the monitor is about to fall off. So,
The one behind you.
so anyway, we thought we'd have a little fun too and ask you about.
That'll do it right there.
There you go, and ask you about what you thought is a difference in the generation you grew up in.
Oh boy.
And the generation of today. And we really got some,
What would be your answer to that, amigo?
Boy, it's kind of a loaded question because there's a lot of things I could say that a lot of people would disagree with. I think the difference in the generation that I grew up in is that we all grew up learning our manners and respect from our parents who would take nothing else. I mean, if you did not respect elders or people like that, your little butt got tore
Got
up.
my head taken off.
And morals, and I think
And ethics.
and ethics, yeah, that's a good word for it too.
Responsibility.
But I think a work ethic.
Yeah.
I started earning money at age 13.
That's when I had my first real job.
Yeah.
50 cents an hour, I guess.
That's about what I did. I was working in a grocery store when I first started. Yeah. But I think that's the difference. I mean, I see a lot of people today, especially during this COVID thing, it's really shown the colors of a lot of folks.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Instead of working, they quit, filed for unemployment, and was getting more money.
And they were working.
Yeah. And instead of having the chutzpah to get out there and work and really respect earning their own living, they're living off the government.
And I'm thinking
that
down the
bothers
road they're going to look back on that decision because it's going to cost them dearly, along with everybody else. So thank
Which
you
could
out
very
there
well.
for going lazy.
Yeah, could very
Well,
well.
they just don't give money away. They got to get it back somehow.
Well, let's take a look at what you guys said is the difference in your generation and today's generation. Shoshana Henderson said the difference is we went out and played. We were home before the street lights came on. We got exercise without needing to be told. Yeah, there were video games, but not like the crap today.
Yeah.
You called when you got to where you were going. There were no cell phones. It was so much better when I was a kid. You got hurt, you rub dirt in it, and you'll be fine. And that's the truth. We didn't get sick like the kids do today. Nobody worried about germs. People stopped if others needed help and actually helped.
Yeah.
I don't recognize this world anymore.
It's a strange, new, different world.
It is that. It really is.
Everybody's whining about the New World Order movement coming on. Well, we've been living in that for the past few years.
It kind of seems like it. Yeah.
And I like this one. Bobby Harley said, our generation knew if you wanted something, you had to earn it.
Bingo.
And that's including a trophy. My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. You get a trophy these days for going to the bathroom on time.
Just for showing up. Coming in second.
Lisa Celia Vazel didn't mince words when she said the difference in generations is no respect.
By God.
There you go.
Sandy Layla Armistead said playing all over the block with no worries versus you can't go outside without being watchful. I started working at 13 and did the job well versus going to work at 18 and not doing the job. Getting spankings versus no discipline.
Bingo.
Well said, Sandy.
That's what you and I were talking about just a few minutes ago. What, Kara? What would be your assessment? I mean,
Well, kind of the internet and all of the technology that's happened between the time. And I agree with the trophy thing. All these kids today, they get participation trophies instead of defining. I mean, when I was in gymnastics and competing, we had first, second, third. We didn't have fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth, or participation ribbon or anything. It was first, second, third.
3 different colored ribbons.
Yeah, red, blue, and white.
Wow.
Or red, blue, and green, or whatever
I
color.
remember those days,
when I was growing up, it took me 2 straight years of not being good enough to make my little league team, which
Yeah.
just crushed me.
Well, me too. I
But
was a
it
little
made me
short,
get
fat
out
boy.
there. It made me get out there and really get after it. And my brother and one of the neighbors across the street really worked with me the 3rd year I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3rd year I made it, and we didn't finish first place, and we didn't get a trophy.
No.
You know, it's just the coach said, "Hey, that's a nice trophy they're getting. You want it? We got to do it next year." You know?
Well, our incentive, once I got into football in junior high school, I mean, I played flag football in Lubbock at the boys' club and all that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was always the center, little short fat boy, little tubby wubby. But once I got up in junior high and started going through my growth spurt and started playing football, I mean, our team sucked. We only won one game, and the coach told us. He said, "I'm going to give you boys some incentive for every game you lose. You have to do 15 minutes of what he called blood on the moon."
Okay,
Do you recall that?
blood on the moon.
That's where cut the team in half. This half lines up on this sideline, the other half lines up on that sideline, and you run straight down that yard mark,
Yeah.
okay? And you better pop some pads when you connect, or you have to get up and go do it again.
Or the old bull in the ring.
Yeah, blood on the moon.
Richard Wise Jr. said people had backbones back then. Got our asses tore up if we messed up, like not being home when that street light came on.
Yeah, absolutely.
All this riot crap would have been squashed.
Well, that's a fact.
Yeah.
It had been done before it ever started.
Yeah, no kidding.
Brian Emerton up in Tennessee says the difference is that stupidity is on the rise like never before, and that's only just one thing. That's a fact there, Bubba.
Ain't it so?
Yeah, that is a fact.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I bet he don't have disciplinary problems up there where he lives in the hills. His kids seem to act pretty nice.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it. Matt Bannister said, first things first, do people actually know what generation they're in? So many people are confused by this, and they think it's based on solid dates, because it's the only way the internet can describe a generation. However, a person can't have 2 children from 2 different generations. For example, let's say a baby boomer has a child in 1968 and another in 1990. Both of these children are Generation X, not because they were children of a baby boomer. As far as me, I'm a Gen Xer, and being part of the last generation being part of the last generation that was required to not be lazy,
Yeah, that's right.
like changing the channel by hand, cords on phones, rotary phones, and cassette tapes.
Yeah.
I believe there was a lot more work growing up than we had to do just to enjoy life. Kids from the Y generation, or millennials, became much lazier because they didn't have to work to play.
You know, he's onto something, I think, there. I mean, it's, I know. I heard if you want to play, you got to pay. I said, "All right."
Ain't it so?
I said, "I can't pay unless I go to work, Dad." He said, "That's not what I mean, son. You know, you earn that right to play and to have toys and all that."
That's a fact.
And a lot of mine I bought myself.
Wow.
We just didn't have the money. James O'Donnell then said, maybe if we quit separating or segregating ourselves by generation and just worry about being the best we can be and raising our children to the best they can be, then all this crap would probably work itself out. If a generation is considered a failure, it is not the previous generation's fault for not raising the generation that fails properly.
And there's something to be said about that. Now, these two went at it in a very, and which I want to say thank you very much, Matt and James.
Yeah.
Y'all had some really good interchanges or exchanges with each other
We won't even call it banter.
on this, and it was very civil and very respectable in a way. I just couldn't put them all in here because it would take up an hour.
You know, and I don't know James at all, but Matt, you know, we know Matt.
Yeah.
And he is a very respectful guy, and he certainly researches his answers
He certainly does.
before he makes a comment on it.
He really
and
does.
he'll just calmly look at you and Tell you the way it is.
Yeah. If you don't like it, fine. If you like it, it's okay.
I mean, I'm not going to call him big dumbass because he squashed me like a roach.
He's big, but he ain't a dumbass. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's a pretty good sized feller.
Shirley Mills says it's a lack of respect for others, no discipline, and no accountability for their actions. They don't want to work to earn their own way.
Besides that, surely they don't play fair anymore.
That's
like
true.
we used to when we was kids growing up.
Very true.
Donnie Brooks said the younger generation is more of a me generation, and that is not necessarily always a bad thing. I see it in the workplace. Companies have to listen to and actually do something when it comes to the employees' needs. Sadly, that doesn't overflow out into the world because we've sheltered them entirely too much. Although they are the generation of social media, they in fact have way fewer social skills, especially in person, than the old generations. And Donnie had a few more points of interest, but way too many to mention here. It's only a 30-minute show. But good, that's well said, Donnie. Appreciate you sending that in.
Bobby Ellis wrapped it up by saying, the difference is simple with me. It is that most of today's young people, which are up to age 26 or so, just don't want to work.
Yeah.
I have had to fire quite a few of these kids after catching them talking and texting on their phones rather than working. I won't pay anyone who doesn't do the job. If mommy and daddy would have just taught them the value of earning their own dime instead of giving them what they scream for,
Bingo.
they would turn out much better. Plus, they don't teach those values at home or school.
Absolutely well said, Bobby. You know, it just kind of goes back to what we've said a million times. It all starts at home.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's.
I agree.
I've always felt like it's somewhat of a brainwashing technique raising kids. You know, you want them to be better than you. But it seems like so many parents these days could give a crap how their kids turn out. You know, just
That's true.
here's
Some good comments today.
a cell phone. Go out.
Yeah, that's
Get out
true.
of the house.
Let's take a look at some viewer comments that we got in from you. Moosehead said on Instagram that our show on Pelosi forming a commission to oust the president just goes to show you how low she will stoop to get her way.
Yep.
Even if Biden were to be elected, she will have it rigged so her puppet Harris will be the president.
Absolutely.
We talked about that, yeah.
I believe that as well.
Yeah.
Justin Sisk also agreed on the same show about the commission by saying it is all very, very stupid and a waste of time, like always. And not to mention the money, too, Justin.
Marlena Graham said, I just caught your show on the VP debate on your Facebook page. I'll tell you who won. It was the fly that landed on the vice president's head.
That's right.
Answer me truly. After he landed, what did either candidate have to say after that?
Old Sleepy Joe probably forgot his train of thought. Oh, look, a fly. Kind of like a, oh, look, a squirrel.
That's funny.
And finally, Manny214 asked on Twitter, how come more people who support Trump seem to give more opinions on your show? I know the answer to that. Do you just eliminate anyone with a Democratic view? It seems a little one-sided to me. Please explain.
You want to take that one? Or you want me to?
I'll let you lead the way.
Well, I will tell you, this is our 90th show since we have started doing our podcast, and we tell you every week we want to hear from you, good or bad. We read whether we agree with you or we don't. We share your opinion.
We will respect your opinion.
So, Manny, if you have an opinion, just like I read yours right here, which could be sometimes sounding derogatory toward our show or whatever, we read them. And that's because the show is about our viewers out there. We want to know what's on your mind, good or bad. We read them all, but we have the right to come back with our own opinion, too.
Yeah, I mean, what you got, K-Bird?
Well, I'm sorry. He has no right to talk because if you're putting it right and left, Democrat, Republican, the Republicans get so much more censored
Yeah.
than
Well, that's true.
anybody else. So at this point, and that's fact that they're finding out. It's not something I.
Well, that's
disagree
true.
with.
But you know, getting back to your question, or you know, for an explanation, when my amigo here and I sat down in the two and a half years we talked about putting the show together, we wanted it to be biased of all opinions, the silent majority. I don't care who you vote for, because I know who I'm voting for. And it shouldn't bother you, because that is the premises and basis that this country was built on through the
Bingo.
Constitution.
Bingo.
You have every bit of much right to vote Democratic as I do Republican.
That's true.
But that being said, we invite everybody to state their opinions, invite everybody to make their comments, file a formal complaint with us, whatever.
Yep.
We read them all, and we
do.
will respect it, and we'll discuss it.
That's right.
Deem it being worthy enough to discuss. So,
And if you have a viewer comment or a suggestion for a topic on our show, it's real easy to do that.
yeah.
Go to our Gmail account, which is grandpaandpappy
Yep.
at gmail.com.
Yep.
Or
Or you can hit us up directly on our show website, which can be found at www.grandpaandpappy.com. That's grandpa with the letter N and pappy.com. And while you're there, you can hit this big red button, hocus pocus, right there.
it's amazing how that works.
Magic pen. And feel free to subscribe. It's the only way to go, in my opinion. You subscribe. You can leave comments on that page, because it's YouTube-driven page.
Hey, let's do something crazy. I know we're running out of time here.
Yeah?
Let's do something crazy, Pappy.
This didn't involve singing, does it?
No, no.
Okay.
The very next person that goes on to our YouTube channel and subscribes,
Huh?
leave us your name and a way to get in touch with you, and we're going to send you a Grandpa and Pappy t-shirt.
By God.
Do that.
Okay.
Is that all right?
We can do that.
Cool. Cool beans. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And speaking of t-shirts, we still have a few left.
I've still got a little bit of pile. They're kind of drizzling out, but we've still got them from mediums to extra larges.
Yep.
$20 plus $4.95 shipping, unless you're within an arm's reach and I can hand it to you. And I might even throw a little extra goodies in there. We've got
And he's been known to do that.
That's right. That's the kind of guy I am.
We hope you'll join us on Monday for another edition of Grandpa and
Yeah.
Pappy. It's been a lot of fun this week. We've had some interesting topics, most of which have been suggested by you. And I do appreciate that more than you'll ever know.
We'll tell you over and over and over, it's your show.
It is your show.
We just broadcast it.
That's it.
We're always looking for show topics, comments, opinions.
You can always go on the Grandpa and Pappy Facebook page, like one of our
can't.
opinions today.
I can't, but you can.
And you can read most of the comments that people are saying on these questions before it ever hits the air, and give us yours too. Your take on
And
it
all
too.
we ask is be respectful of other
Absolutely.
people's opinions. Don't trash anybody because
correct.
they're Democrat or Republican or anything else. Just leave your opinion. Play fair like big boys and girls do, and we won't boot your butt off the page. Fair enough?
Fair enough. That sounds good. We hope you have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes,
As
we
we
do.
end every show, we always tell you to hug your children and let them know you love them.
I'll always let you know, too, that they're loved by the Grandpa and Pappy show right here in beautiful Fort Worth, Texas. By God.
Yeah, they sure are. And we will hope that you have a great weekend.
Yeah.
But we also tell you to please be careful.
Take
Watch
care
out
of
for
one another. That's right.
And come Sunday, old Grandpa's turning another year older. I don't know if I can handle many more
Finally
of these.
stopped heckling me about turning a year older last week. So,
Ain't it so?
yeah. He will officially be a year older than me next Sunday.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Maybe one of these days I'll get as good looking as you are. So.
Well, I hope so.
There you are.
Only if you swap hairdos with me.
Be careful. Have a
Yep.
great weekend. And Pappy and I will see you back on Monday.
Monday
Till then,
morning.
God bless. Take care.
Have a good one.
See you. Bye-bye.